Hi guys, Abs here and welcome to this video. So in this video, I'm going to be taking you over some of the updates that we've made to the prompt generator AI. I've actually recorded this video once before, but I found out that my mic wasn't on, so I'm going through it again. So anyway, the very first update that I want to show you is we're now able to create images using multiple AI engines. So we're able to use FAL AI, we're able to use DALL-E, and we're able to use Ideogram as well. I'm going to be showing you and I'm going to be explaining how to work with these now. But the very first thing that you need to do is go over to settings. Well, you need to sign up for the accounts, and then you go over to settings, API keys, you go over to AI images, and from here you select the engine. So for example, FAL AI, and then you add your API key. You select DALL-E, add your API key. You select Ideogram, add your API key. You don't have to add an API key for any one of the ones that you don't want to work with. Okay, so if you want to work with them, then add them. If you don't want to work with them, don't add them. When it comes to DALL-E, then it's the exact same API key that you have for your AI, open AI key. So you just copy and paste down here. Okay, each one of these engines have multiple models that you can work with. You can select one down here now, but don't worry, every time you create a prompt, every time you create an image from a prompt, you're going to be able to select whatever model you want to work with. Okay, I usually have this on Flux Dev. Okay, so I'll just keep that as is. Once you've added in your API keys, you guys, you're going to be able to work with them. But let me just quickly show you the websites, so then you get a better understanding of how to do this. So this is FAL AI, guys. And I think for this, you need a GitHub account. You need to sign in using your GitHub account. And then when you've signed in, you're going to be able to explore the various models. So they have all these models. If you just click on image, text to image, then all of these down here are going to be your models that you can use to create images with from using text. Okay, they even do text to video, guys, something that maybe later on down the line I've already spoken to my developer that we can probably explore, so then we can start creating videos and doing all sorts of stuff. Okay, but anyway, text to image, these are the models down here, and you're going to find all the models inside of the software as well. But if you wanted to add new models, because obviously these APIs do update, then all you have to do is select whatever it is, add your model in here, and then it'll be available on the drop down for you to select. Okay, so when it comes to FAL AI, guys, I'll go over to usage and I'll just show you what I've been using. Okay, so as you can see, yesterday or on the 10th of September, I done like about $2.20 in images. The day before that, on the 9th of September, I done $2.89. And you can actually see the models that I've been using. Okay, so I think the model that I've been using the most is this one here. Okay, and it works out to be about 0.25 cents for 0.025 cents per image. And then you have this Auraflow model. I think it's about 5 cents per image. But what you can do to test these guys is you can come over to explore, okay, and you can come along and go to text to image. You can find the model down here. So for example, Flux Dev, Auraflow, whatever it is, you can click on it and you can add your prompt down here and click on run. When you've run this, you can go back over to usage. Okay, and you can actually see exactly what your usage has been, and then you're going to be able to find out how much it actually costs you. Okay, so anyway, this is Flux AI. You need to add billing to this. You need to create your API key, get your API key, and then add it to the software. Okay, this is Ideogram, guys. Ideogram, in fact, is actually free to sign up to, and I think they give you 10 free credits. As you can see, I haven't even used any of my credits because I'm more focused on working with the API. But come along, sign up, use your 10 free credits. You can set whatever model you want to work with as well, and you can generate your images. But to work with it inside of the prompt generator AI, you will need to have an API key. So if you click on API, what you'll notice is you're going to have to create the API key. And in order to create the API key, you need to add billing. And in order to create that API key, once you've added billing, then it charges you $40. Okay, so $40 will automatically be added the very first time you create this. So as you can see down here, I've got some $39.78. I actually find this fairly expensive to use, Ideogram. Maybe it's the model that I'm choosing, guys. I don't know. I'm using 2.0, but it's really, really good with text. This is one thing that I found. It's doing some images, and the text that it puts on the images is really good. I haven't seen any spelling errors or anything like that. With DALL-E and with Flux, I am seeing spelling errors and everything, so I try my best for my prompts to have no wording in there. Okay, so anyway, this is ideogram. And ideogram, you can see the pricing down here, guys. Okay, so these are the models. So ideogram 2. Okay, so there you go, guys. This is why it's expensive. It's costing me 8 cents for an image. Oh, we don't have ideogram turbo. So this isn't added inside of here. I'll have to ask my developer how to get this added, but I believe all we have to do is go to ideogram and click on model and then add the model down here. I just don't know how I'll add the model. Will I just, because obviously this says ideogram 2 and then on here it's got version 2, V2, so I don't know how I'd add the actual model down here. I'll have to find out maybe in the documentation. Let's have a look. 2.0 is fairly expensive. 1.0 is actually expensive as well when comparing it to something like, you know, DALL-E 3, which is 4 cents. So anyway, this is ideogram for you guys, and then obviously you've got FAL AI, and when it comes to OpenAI, DALL-E, then all you have to do is add your OpenAI key. You can see down here, guys, I've been using it. Yesterday, 11th September, we've done like $4.97 in this. Today, we've done like 8 cents in images, and obviously we do GPT 4.0 or 4.0 mini as well. Okay, so let me show you how to actually create these images now and how to work with it inside of here. So I've got this strategy. If I go over to API and I'll go over to test image test, you can see down here I've got 2 prompts. Okay, the very first prompt is keyword, which means I'm just going to add my image prompt inside of the keyword field, and the second prompt is saving over the output. Okay, and if I double click on here, you can see I've got API images. If I click on images, you can see I've got FAL AI. I'll actually set this to dev because I know it's cheaper. Where's it gone? Here we go, Flux Dev. Okay, and this is what I'm going to use to test it with, guys. Okay, so I'm going to quickly update this. I'm going to come along to automation, and this is the actual prompt that we're going to be using, guys. Okay, as I mentioned, I did do this video before, but I wasn't recording, or my audio wasn't on. I can't remember what it was. But anyway, it says a cheerful and motivating scene depicting a diverse group of people of various ages, ethnicities, and body types engaging in a fun outdoor fitness class on a sunny day in a lush park. The group is participating in various activities such as yoga, jogging, and stretching. In the background, there's a banner reading "Weight Loss Made Easy" with images of healthy foods like fruits, vegetables, and smoothies. The setting includes green trees, a clear blue sky, and people smiling and encouraging each other, creating an atmosphere of positivity and support for a healthy lifestyle. The image should radiate energy, inclusivity, and the joy of being active and eating well. Okay, so as you can see, this is in here, a cheerful and motivating scene, whatever, and eating well. Okay, I'm using the image. You can double check down here what you're using. You can even see the model and everything down here as well. Okay, and what I'm going to do really quickly is go over to my image folder, not this one. I'm going to go over to my image folder, image, and as you can see, we've already got some images in there. I'm going to delete them because I was testing them in the last video. So I'm going to go ahead and click on start. So this is now going to use Flux Dev to create our image for us, and we're going to see exactly how this image looks and how long it takes. So that took 7 seconds, guys. If I go over to image, weight loss made easy, and it hasn't done any spellings, which is not bad, and it's done a pretty good image down here, guys. Obviously, if it looks a little bit cartoon-like, then you're going to have to adjust your prompt. You know, maybe say something, take it as if taken from a photograph of a Canon. I'm going to change this to Flux, guys, so then we can keep track of this. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to change over the model. I'm going to show you how we can easily test different models as well. I'm showing you the long way at the moment, and the reason I'm showing you the long way is because I want to show you the easy way as well. Okay, so DALL-E, I'm going to use DALL-E 3 for this one this time. As you can see, I'll keep having to do this, then I have to go over to automation, and then I have to test it. Okay, which isn't great, and I'm going to show you an update that makes it much better to work with. So anyway, this is going to be DALL-E that's going to come in here. Flux took 7 seconds. Let's have a look to see how DALL-E 3 takes. Sometimes they take longer, sometimes they're super quick, guys. It does depend on the servers of OpenAI and whatever AI engine we're working with. So here we go. This took 22 seconds, and this is DALL-E here. Okay, it doesn't look too bad whatsoever. Okay, I'll do that as DALL-E 3. What we'll do now is we'll go back over to here. And this time we'll change this over to Ideogram and version 2. This is the 8sense one. Click on start. And you'll see how long this takes in a moment as well. Okay, so Ideogram took about the same time roughly as DALL-E. Let's have a look down here. Weight loss made easy. So one of the good things about Ideogram, guys, I have noticed that it does really good on spellings. If you're adding content with spellings, it does good with spellings, whereas the other ones don't do so good. Okay, let's have a look at another one. Let's have a look at, for example, we could go with DALL-E 2. Okay, so this is DALL-E 2.0 now that we're going to be using instead of 3. And then you can actually see DALL-E 3 versus DALL-E 2 as well. Still taking quite some time. Okay, so this is DALL-E 2. So as you can see, it doesn't look good. Okay, so you probably don't want to use DALL-E 2. Okay, not good whatsoever. And then you can have a look at other models as well. So for example, you might want to work with, you might continuously want to work with Flux, for example, but you want to try a different model of Flux. So you think, well, hang on a sec, I want to try Auraflow. Okay, so I can click on save. Come down here, click on start. So we'll go ahead and do the Auraflow one now as well. You can see the time, how long it takes as well. Okay, and this is the Auraflow model. Weight loss made easy. It's actually done a pretty good job. Okay, so this gives you an example of how you can work with these AI models, guys. Okay, and I'm going to show you a quick strategy down here. My own strategy that I've been using. And what you'll notice is in this strategy, I've got 15 prompts. The 15 one is a save prompt. Okay, but have a look at this. Have a look at these. They're all using API. Every single one of these is using the API, guys. Okay, in fact, we're using directly GPT and then GPT-4o Mini. I'll explain to you in a moment why I don't use OpenRouter as much as I used to now, whereas before I was. I'm going to explain that to you as well, because maybe you guys can face the same problems. But anyway, but have a look at this. We've got this prompt here, create a prompt to create an image, and then output 14, I'm sending output 13, which is the prompt, and then I'm giving it the image down here, guys. Okay, so you can see down here in my strategy, I now create my entire article, including the image as well. Okay, so let me just show you one thing, guys. What you noticed earlier on was that every time I want to change a model, I'll have to go from automation and come back in here and then do it again, guys. Okay, now I could have easily used test API, okay, and added my prompt in there and tested it that way, but obviously it's not going to save over the image. Now, many times what happens is when we're creating long strategies, guys, we can go into the strategies, we can test the APIs, we can change the models, we can change our system prompt, we can change our prompt to get the right kind of response that we want. That's brilliant. We know that this prompt is working nicely. Now we can come along here, we can test this, we can refine it and update it. We can even change things like, you know, the tokens and whatever it is until we know it's working fine. But now the strategies need to work fine together. So for example, this prompt here, let me just show you prompt 9, for example. This prompt here, it relies on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 outputs. Okay, so in order for prompt 9 to work, it needs to make sure that it gets the correct outputs from all of the other from all of the other prompts. Okay, and the only way we can test an entire strategy is to save it over, go over to automation and test it. Or run the strategy, and if we find we need to make some tweaks, we've got to come back over the strategies and make the tweaks that way. What we can do now is we've now added in this new feature whereby not only can you test each individual prompt, but you can test the entire strategy. But this only works if your entire strategy is made up of API calls. If it's made up using any one of the user chat interfaces, then it's not going to work. So anyway, what you do is you go into your strategy and then you check this checkbox API. Once you check the checkbox API, you'll see a new button down here called test. Click on test, and whatever variables need to be added in here, they're going to be shown down here. So I've got this other strategy that I'll show you that has more than one. Just to give you a better understanding. Okay, so here you go, sitemap and keyword. Okay, so if you add more variables in there as well, guys, it would do that as well. So let me show you exactly how this works. So now I'm on this strategy. I want to test it all. I'm going to go ahead and click on test. I'm going to have a look. It only wants my keyword, so I'm going to add my keyword here. I'm going to call this belly fat. I'll just call it belly fat, and I'm going to click on update. Now this has been updated. I can click on start. This is testing my strategy now, and then we've got this logs button here. I'm going to click on logs, and I'm going to look for the timestamp that's the most closest one. So it's 11:46 now. That's this one here. And inside of here, what you'll see is you will see the logs for each one of the prompts. You'll be able to see the requests that we sent. For example, prompt 1 request was this, and the output that we got for that was this. Okay, and this is the outline. Okay, prompt 2 that we sent was this, and the output that we got for that was this. Okay, prompt 3 request that we actually sent was this, and the prompt 3 output was this here. Okay, so I'm sure you're getting a good understanding of exactly how brilliant this can be to actually help you debug. Okay, so I think this is actually completed. It is completed. Okay, and you can even see the image. So the image was created down here as well. So this is an image. It might look a bit vague, and you'd be like, hang on a sec, why is this image so bad? So then what you can do is you can come along and you can see what is generating the image prompt. So from here, I know this one here, prompt number 13, is asking for image prompt generation. So I can have a look at the output to see what they've told us. They've given us create a visually appealing image that represents the theme of a natural weight loss and health. Include fresh fruits and vegetables like avocados, berries, and leafy greens. So that's exactly what this image has been made from. Now you might think, hang on, I don't like that. You might want to go ahead and adjust the prompt or whatever. And then you've got the final article, which comes back in CSV file. And as you can see, guys, mine is actually saving in CSV as well. So if I show you the prompt, you can see these are comma separated. Don't know if you can see them, but they're comma separated down here, guys. So this is really, really cool, guys, because now you can test individual prompts and you can test the entire strategy before updating it and then going ahead and running your final articles through them, guys. Okay, what other updates have we made? Let me just have a look. Okay, we no longer have 3.5 checkbox in here. As you notice, we have GPT, and if you want to work with GPT-4 or 4.0, then you have to select these here. If you don't select this, then it'll be working with GPT 4.0 mini. And the same is true when you double click this as well, guys. You'll see there's no GPT 3.5 now. Okay, so we made a number of updates to the actual syntax of when we're working with the API, and a couple of bug fixes as well. We've added in the test logic that I just showed you. We made some updates to Bing images as well, guys, to make it a little bit easier to match up your images and your actual articles if you're making everything separately, and you might not be doing it in the same prompt like I am here. And finally, guys, there was an issue that we noticed inside of ChatGPT when working and adding prompts in the user interface, and that has also been updated as well. So this has actually been a long video, guys. I'm really sorry about this, but anyway, it's working really, really good. I don't know what else to say to you guys. I mean, you can see down here, I'm using one of the most expensive things that I'm finding 100% is working and creating the images with the API, guys. So this is why you're able to still work with Bing and create the images with Bing. And what you'll notice as well, guys, is when we save the images over now we're saving the images images over after an actual keyword. Okay, obviously we do cut it out as well, but the reason we save it after the actual keyword, guys, is let's say, for example, you know, you're creating a bunch of articles and then you want to go and create a bunch of images separately because you don't want to use the API, but you want to use Bing. So what you can do now is you can go and get them titles of the articles, get Bing to create you. I've actually got a strategy down here, guys. I'm not going to even lie to you. So I think I've got this image strategy down here that I use fairly often. Bing images, there you go. It's only 2 prompts, guys. What I'm doing is I'm adding in my keyword, and that is actually the title. So I'm saying create a high resolution realistic photograph taken with a Canon EOS R5 and a Canon RF 50mm, whatever, with a blog post that has the following title. And then I would run this multiple times, you know, maybe 10 or 50 whatever images, and then I'd have to go ahead and marry those images with my actual articles, which was kind of difficult, but now that we have images named after the actual titles or after the keyword, then it's much more easier to do this. So anyway, guys, without boring you, I really hope you enjoy this video, and all you have to do is restart the software and it should ask you to update. If it doesn't ask you to update, then you should be on the latest model or on the latest version, and if you're unsure, then just have a look and make sure you have AI engines in your app. If you have AI engines, you're on the latest model.